Good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 3 of Effortless Expansion. And we're talking about systems and how to actually create systems in your business so you can take a fucking vacation. So many of us, we start our businesses because we want a sense of freedom. We want to have our own schedule, work on our own projects, and then you hear epic quotes like entrepreneurs are the only people. I'm trying to get the quote right, but I don't think I'm going to remember it. Entrepreneurs are the only kind of person who will quit a 40-hour-a-week job to work 80 hours a week for themselves. I totally butchered the quote. I take it back. I'm not even trying. So we start our business in order to get freedom, but then we end up working. Oftentimes, we end up working a lot more and our brain never turns off and we're stuck in our business and our boundaries are shit. And suddenly we're working all the time or thinking about our business all the time. We can't take time off. So systems are the answer to this. And I like to think of them as externalized energies. So externalized energies are if we are seeing our business as something separate from ourselves, and we are actually trying to allow our business to grow. And we're actually trying to feed energy and money and time in our business in the beginning so that later on it can be this more reciprocal relationship. And then even beyond that, it can just be giving us energy. It can be giving us time and it can be giving us money. So you actually need to allow your business to grow up in order to do that. And you do that by creating systems within it. So the big 5 I like to talk about in terms of externalized energies is money, intellectual property, team, tech, and reputation. So we're not going to go in full depth with all of these because I have better takeaways later on in these 20 minutes together. But if you can see your business having its own money, it has its own bank account. The money that comes into your business is not your own; it's your business's, and you make a profit off of it. You get a salary from it. Intellectual property is like your genius is actually housed in your business, and your business owns it. Your team is owned by your business and runs your business so that instead of you being the most overworked employee of your business, you actually have a support team in place that are doing the things that are outside of your zone of genius. And people can do just much better than you and take responsibility for those things. Tech, that's a lot of time what people think when they think of business systems. We think of automations, we think of funnels, but it's only one small aspect of what systems in our business looks like. And just reputation, like our business, it has a separate entity from us. It has its own branding. It has its own social networks. It is known separate than us. And that actually, even if you are your own, it's a personal brand and your business is you, like the brand is you, like your business still has a separate identity than you. And it's really important to internalize that. Okay, so why this is important. So when we have systems in our business, we pretty much are pulling our expertise out of our head so that it can be housed in our business and it can run without us, right? We already discussed this. You're actually able to hand off the things that you don't want to do and take time off. So if you are triggered by tech, then you have people or you have systems in place so you don't have to deal with the tech. Or if you are triggered by your email inbox like I am, you have people to help you with that, and you have systems in place for that. So it's actually allowing you to have more energy because you are giving away the things that are draining you, and you're allowed to actually spend most of your time in creativity or visioning or whatever it is, more time in your craft if you're a service-based business, so that you are actually at the end of the day being filled up by energy instead of just it being drained. Another reason why it's important is because when you have systems, your business growth isn't limited by your capacity. Because let's be honest, we are humans in meat suits and we have to sleep at night and we have to feed ourselves and we have to have all of these things outside of our business. And yes, we have unlimited potential, but we are humans in this 3D reality. So if you don't have systems in place in your business, you're actually limiting your business's potential for growth. Okay. So when we do put a team in place, when we do put automations in place, when we do build up these externalized energies within our business, then our business has the potential to grow significantly faster and significantly bigger than we can even imagine. Yeah. So mistakes I see with building systems is thinking that it's only tech. Most people, when they hear systems, are thinking, these are the automations in my business. Yes, that is one aspect of it. But if you just see systems as technology and technological systems within your business, you're going to be scared, especially if you're triggered by tech. Like, how the fuck am I ever going to set all this up? But you're also limiting what's possible, because there are so many other systems that we can have in place. Another mistake I see is waiting too long to hire people, too long to hire a team, or too soon, going too soon at it. There's two sides of the spectrum. You actually want to be at a sweet point of when you hire. And if you're hiring too soon, it'll make it feel like you're being drained. And like this all goes back to draining your energy, you guys. So you're going to feel over exhausted because you're putting energy into people and things before you actually have systems in place. You actually know what's working in your business. You're delegating out the responsibility of you being the CEO and you being the genius and the expert in your business before it's actually time, before you've actually learned enough. And you just might not have enough cash flow to support it. And it can actually fizzle out your business sooner. But it also, if you're waiting too long to hire because you're afraid of letting go of control, or you just don't understand the hiring process, or you're so busy that like the idea of like actually bringing someone in is just completely overwhelming to you. I mean, you already know. You like, if you're in that position, you already know you're in that position because you're so overwhelmed right now by the amount of work you have, or you're just so stunted in your growth. So you actually want to find that sweet spot of when to hire. And then a third mistake I see people making in terms of systems is not letting go of control. This is a big one. If you are an entrepreneur and you can hear my little dogs jingling around me, chill guys, chill out. They're not going to stop. If you're an entrepreneur, and you're running a successful business and you've gotten to the point where you're above the sufficiency point, you're making enough to cover your personal expenses and you're making enough to cover your business expenses, then you're most likely a driven person, a visionary person who is highly capable, highly functional, very intelligent. It also means you probably have some control issues. Like a lot of women in our society, a lot of driven women in society, we have control issues because we're kind of brought up in a non-natural way. I won't go too far into that, but this is a huge mistake with systems. If you're unable to let go of control and unable to receive support from people, unable to stop working and actually fill your cup up, it's going to limit your business's capacity for growth, because that is such a key part. Being able to be supported, being able to receive is such a key part in actually getting to that multiple six-figure, seven-figure level and beyond. Okay, so let's talk about what to do instead. We've drilled into the mistakes, and I probably should kick my dogs out of this room. You guys? Oh, both you. Oh, no? Okay, well, try. So what to do instead? So what to know instead of systems being just about tech. Come here, baby. Let's take this jingling thing off at least. I love that this is happening live. I probably should have dealt with this already. There you go. The jingly collars are at least off. So what to do instead? Systems are actually most often people-based. Okay. I appreciate all you guys on live. This is really great. So systems are actually more often people-based than they are tech-based. So if you're thinking that tech is the only way to have systems, not actually true. It's often more people. So what does that look like? That looks like making standard operating procedures in your business. So pretty much how-tos on how everything runs. And because systems are people-based, it means that you and your brilliant brain need to figure out what works in your business first. I love when this happens before hiring. If you understand, and incremental hires, if you understand the best way to market your business, or like at this certain level, we can always get better, obviously, like a marketing system that works for my business. And this is my system for how to post on Instagram. And these are the posts I like to do. And these are the pictures I like to do. And this is how I run sales calls. And this is how I attract clients in. If you yourself can really identify efficient systems before delegating, it can go so far. What often happens is people, and I'm getting on, I won't get into the when to the hire yet. I'll stick to my first point, which is systems are most often people-based. So what you actually need to be doing is deleting unnecessary things and optimizing your current systems before delegating them to other people, unless you're hiring people who know more than you, which is great. It's just those are more expensive hires if you're not training. And then you want to put standard operating procedures in place, and you want to actually make things great first before delegating. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is, for the when to hire mistake, is you want to start hiring when you can afford it. Getting clear on that first. If you're in a desperate place and you're just like, I need to bring in more money, I have so many things to do, but I'm not actually at that sufficiency point of covering my expenses, my personal and business expenses, you probably don't want to hire. Instead, you need to cut back on what you're doing and only focusing on the important things. And this is really hard for people because we're obsessed with being busy overall. This culture that we're in, we're obsessed with being busy. So you want to wait until you're actually at the point where you can afford hiring someone. And then after you've deleted those unnecessary tasks and gotten really clear on what works in your business, instead of being like, I am so overwhelmed, I just need someone to do what I'm already doing. If you're in that state, you are most likely being inefficient in your business. So you first need to get clear and get efficient in your business before you actually give that to other people, or else you're just delegating systems that don't work, and you're going to be wasting people's time. You're going to be wasting your money. Okay. So and little nuance here is I do have some clients who are like, they have another business they're also running, or they have kids they're homeschooling, or special needs kids at home. And they do have extra money from a different source, from a different business or from a spouse. You might need to hire if you are at that point where you just like, time is a very, very limited resource, and you just do need that help. But you do have other streams of income coming in that can actually support that. But you don't want to do it if you're working full time in your business and you're so overwhelmed and you're not actually making enough money. That just means you're being inefficient in your processes. So the third what to do instead is you actually want to learn how to delegate. I love this topic because I have spent so much time in a launch manager, project manager position, and delegation is a trigger point for people, because when you start hiring people and when you actually have your first virtual assistant or your first OBM or your first full-time employee, what will often come up for people is, I don't have time to actually teach someone else how to do what I'm doing, so I'm just going to do it myself. Or it'll take less time for me to do it myself, so I'm just going to do it myself instead of teaching someone else how to do it. So what you want to do is you actually want to, those are mindset issues, because instead you're not investing in your future, the future of your business, where when you realize that the second that you teach someone else on your team how to do something, you're investing in your future time. You're freeing up all of your future time. Yes, in the moment, it might be like, it would take so much less time if I did it myself. But instead, you centering in on and seeing the future version of your business where you are freed up of these sorts of tasks, that will unlock so much for you, because you will be investing in that person on your team to do that task and creating a system with them. And yes, the first few times they do it, it probably won't be as good as you can do it. But again, coming from I am investing in my business, I'm investing in my team member, I'm investing in the systems in my business, so that I'm investing in this future version of my business where I don't have to do these things. I can free up so much of my time. That's the place you really want to come from when it comes to creating systems, because yes, it does require it. It doesn't feel like this urgent task you need to do, right? Or instead of like, I just need to post a bunch on Instagram and attract a bunch of people and get more followers and get more leads. Like those are the sexier parts of business. But investing in creating systems, investing in training a team, investing in hiring, I'm talking about time investment. Those are the things that will actually give you so much more time back in the long term, because it is the thing that will allow you to go take a vacation and allow your business to grow so much more. So our exercise for today is to actually, and if you want this in our little written workbook form and you're not already on my email list, just DM me and we'll get that to you. I'll email that out to you. But the exercise is to actually list out your consistent weekly and monthly tasks and projects, your weekly and monthly tasks and projects, and go through with 4 different lenses. First one is, what can I delete? What are the things that I'm doing that actually aren't getting a return on investment, that aren't actually moving the needle forward? The next one is, what can I automate? Okay, because there are plenty of things that can be automated in your business. Just delegate it to some sort of tech. You can use things like Zapier. You can use things like Dubsado. I always pronounce that wrong. The third lens you want to take your big long list of everything through is, what can I simplify? What processes do I have in my business that are just complicated, unnecessarily complicated? What can I simplify? And then the fourth one to take it through is, what can I delegate? So what can I actually delegate out? But you do those first 3 first, right? Deleting, automating, simplifying before you would ever delegate to someone, because otherwise you're just wasting someone's time and you're wasting your money. So again, if you want to get that in written form with the little workbook exercise that goes with this video, and you're not already on my email list, just DM me. We'll get that to you. And of course, if you are interested in taking this to the whole next level, I invite you to join the Alchemical Business Intensive. This is my 6-month container for actually building a scalable business. So this is both the marketing side of things, the sales side of things, how to actually, and the magical side of things, because I mean, we're all magical business owners here if you're watching this video. And how do we actually amplify the potential of getting better clients and getting having better launches? And then also, how do we build the systems in our business, the money systems, the intellectual property systems, the team? How do you hire a team? If you look at my last Instagram post, it goes through all of the 13 main topics we run through in our 6 months together. You get weekly group calls. You also have an option to do one-on-one calls with me throughout the entire 6 months if you need a unique perspective and you just want straight business coaching with me. The price goes up significantly on Sunday. So if this is something that you've been watching these videos and this is has been giving you a lot of value, like this is only scratching the surface of what we go into in the Alchemical Business Intensive. So definitely apply before Sunday if you want that $1,000 discount on the pricing. Or you can also just straight up book a call with me. There's a link in my bio for just getting on my calendar, and we can chat for 30 minutes to see if your business makes sense to join right now, for where you're at in your business, for your current goals. This is definitely an alchemical container, a sacred container. It's infused with a lot of intention, and there is a wide range of businesses that join, from people who are brand new to people who are already at the $300,000, $500,000 level. So you're actually able to gain wisdom and support from a huge spectrum of business owners. We're all online service providers or have digital products that we're selling, like courses or masterminds. And really, you like, I can't speak enough about how much belonging and how much support you get. If you have a sister wound, it will be resolved in this container, because it is really so much about building this community of support around you. And if I can speak of the necessary part of support in your business, like it is what has allowed me to grow my business significantly over the last 3 years, is actually getting the support I needed. And so if you are struggling to get people into your programs, you're struggling to get clients, you might actually want to ask yourself, do I have the support I need in my life? And also, am I afraid of investing in support? Because how is that actually reflecting in my business that clients don't want to invest in being supported by me? So anyways, you guys have a great day. This was so much fun doing these three days together with you. If you haven't watched day 1 and day 2, go back. It's just, you'll see it on the IGTV, or you can listen to it in podcast form on my podcast, which is Business is Magical Practice, which you can just find wherever podcasts exist. And DM me if you have any questions, or just comment below and I'll get back to you. And you all have a great day.